When a powerful CEO whispered 5 careless words, "I hope she's white and elegant," he had no idea those words would destroy everything he thought he knew about success. The woman who walked through that restaurant door wasn't the polished socialite he'd been expecting. She was his own maid, returning something he'd lost, and within seconds, a photographer's flash turned a simple misunderstanding into a scandal that would rock Atlanta's elite world. What started as a PR stunt to save his reputation became the most dangerous game he'd ever played, because somewhere between the fake smiles and scripted dates, the heart doesn't follow instructions. His controlling mother offered her money to disappear, his business partners called her a gold digger, and the entire world watched as he had to choose between the empire he'd built and a love he never saw coming. But when you humiliate the wrong woman in front of the right cameras, sometimes the universe has a way of teaching you what elegance really means, and it has nothing to do with the color of someone's skin or the size of their bank account. Subscribe right now and comment where you're watching from, because this story proves that the price of prejudice is steep, but the reward for choosing love over pride, that's priceless. The morning sun cut through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Nathan Cole's office like a blade. Everything in that room gleamed: the marble desk, the chrome fixtures, the awards lined up like soldiers on the glass shelves. Nathan sat behind his computer, barely looking up when his business partner Adam walked in carrying 2 coffee cups. "You look tired," Adam said, setting a cup down on Nathan's desk. "I am tired." Nathan rubbed his eyes. "Board meeting went until midnight." Adam dropped into the leather chair across from him. "That's exactly why you need to get out more, have some fun, meet someone." Nathan snorted. "I don't have time for dating." "Come on, you're 34 years old. You can't work forever. Watch me." Adam leaned forward. "I'm serious. My wife's friend knows this woman, perfect for you. Elegant, educated, comes from a good family. She runs a boutique downtown." Nathan finally looked up. His jaw was tight, his blue eyes sharp. "I'm not interested. One dinner, that's all I'm asking, a blind date. Blind dates are disasters. Not this one. Trust me." Adam pulled out his phone and showed Nathan a picture. The woman in it wore a white dress and smiled at the camera like she owned the world. Nathan stared at the photo for a moment, then shrugged. "Fine, one dinner, but if she's boring, I'm leaving early." Adam grinned. "You won't regret it." "I already do." Nathan turned back to his computer. Then, almost as an afterthought, he added, "I just hope she's white and elegant. The last thing I need is someone who doesn't fit the image." The words came out casually, like he was ordering lunch. Adam's smile faltered. "Nathan." "What?" "I'm being honest. I have a reputation to maintain. The board, the investors, they expect a certain standard." Outside the office, Henry Brooks stood near the doorway. He'd been Nathan's driver for 3 years. He'd come to drop off a package and overheard every word. Henry was a quiet man, 40 years old, with kind eyes and a patient demeanor. He didn't say anything. He just set the package on the assistant's desk and walked away. But he didn't forget. That evening, Nathan sat in his mansion going over contracts. The house was enormous, 10 bedrooms, a pool, marble floors that echoed when you walked. It was beautiful and cold, like a museum. Elise Carter moved quietly through the hallways, dusting the bookshelves in Nathan's study. She was 28, with dark skin that glowed under the warm lights, and eyes that carried both strength and gentleness. She wore a simple gray uniform, and her hair was pulled back in a neat bun. She found Nathan's cufflinks on the desk, silver, expensive, engraved with his initials. He must have forgotten them. Mrs. Lang, the head housekeeper, poked her head in. "Elise, you should head home soon. It's getting late." "I will." Elise held up the cufflinks. "Mr. Cole left these. Isn't he dining at Le Bernardin tonight?" Mrs. Lang nodded. "Yes, some business dinner." Elise bit her lip. Those cufflinks probably cost more than her monthly rent. Nathan would notice they were missing. "I'll bring them to him. It's on my way." Mrs. Lang smiled. "You're too kind, dear, but be careful. That restaurant is fancy." Elise changed out of her uniform into a simple black dress. Nothing special, just clean and neat. She took the bus downtown, clutching the small velvet box with the cufflinks inside. Le Bernardin was the kind of place where even the air felt expensive. Crystal chandeliers, white tablecloths, waiters in tuxedos. Elise felt out of place the moment she walked in. The hostess looked her up and down. "Do you have a reservation?" "No, I just need to." "Are you here for the Cole party?" The hostess didn't wait for an answer. She grabbed a menu. "You're late. Right this way." "Wait, I'm not." But the hostess was already walking. Elise followed, confused. They stopped at a private table near the window. It was set for 2. "Your date will be here shortly," the hostess said, then disappeared. Elise stood there, frozen. This was a mistake. She should leave. But before she could move, she saw Nathan walk in. He looked different outside the mansion, more relaxed, wearing a dark suit with no tie. He scanned the room, then spotted her. His face went blank. He walked over slowly. "What are you doing here?" Elise held up the velvet box. "You forgot your cufflinks. You thought you'd crash my dinner." His voice was low but sharp. "No, the hostess thought I was—" "This is unbelievable." Nathan looked around, his jaw clenched. "Is this some kind of joke?" "Mr. Cole, I'm just trying to return. I don't need my maid following me to restaurants." The word maid hung in the air like a slap. Elise's hands trembled. "I was trying to help." Before Nathan could respond, a flash went off, bright and sudden. They both turned. A man with a camera stood near the entrance, grinning. "Nathan Cole. Mind if I get a quick shot for the blog?" Nathan's face went pale. He raised his hand. "No photos." Too late. The photographer snapped another picture. Nathan scowling, Elise standing there startled, the small velvet box visible in her hands. The photographer winked and left. Nathan closed his eyes. "This is a disaster." Elise set the box on the table. Her voice was quiet. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause trouble." She turned and walked out before he could say anything else. The next morning, Nathan woke to his phone buzzing like a swarm of bees. 50 texts, 20 missed calls. He grabbed the phone and opened the first message from Adam. "Check the news now." Nathan pulled up his browser. The headline hit him like a punch. "CEO's secret date with his maid. Nathan Cole caught in shocking romance." Below it was the photo, him scowling, Elise looking shocked, both of them framed like they were in the middle of a scandal. No. Nathan scrolled down. The article was worse. Sources say Nathan Cole, CEO of Colestone Investments, was spotted at Le Bernardin with one of his household staff members. The mysterious woman, identified as Elise Carter, has worked in his home for over 2 years. Insiders claim the two have been secretly dating, though Cole's representatives have yet to comment. His phone rang. It was his PR manager, Jenna. "Nathan, we have a situation. I can see that. The board is furious. Your mother called me 3 times already. We need to fix this now." Nathan ran his hand through his hair. "It's not even real. She just returned something I forgot. That's not what it looks like. And in PR, perception is reality. So what do we do?" Jenna was quiet for a moment. "We need a statement, or we lean into it." "Lean into it? Tell people you're dating. Ride it out for a few weeks, then quietly break up. It makes you look human, relatable." Nathan's stomach twisted. "Oh, you want me to lie?" "I want you to control the narrative, otherwise this will spiral." Elise didn't see the news until Mrs. Lang knocked on her door that morning. "Oh, sweetie." Mrs. Lang's face was full of worry. "You need to see this." Elise took the phone. Her hands went cold when she saw the headline. Her face was right there, broadcast to the world. "I didn't do anything wrong," Elise whispered. "I know, but that doesn't matter to them." Elise's phone rang. It was Nathan. She almost didn't answer, but she did. "We need to talk," Nathan said. His voice was tight. "Come to the mansion, now." Elise stood in Nathan's office, her heart pounding. He sat behind his desk, fingers steepled, looking at her like she was a problem he needed to solve. "This is a mess," he said. "I know, I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix it." He stood and paced. "My board is panicking. My mother is furious, and the press won't stop calling. I'll tell them the truth." "The truth?" Nathan stopped pacing. "The truth doesn't matter. What matters is what people believe." Elise crossed her arms. "So what do you want me to do?" Nathan was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "I want you to pretend." "Pretend what?" "That we're dating. For a few weeks. Until this dies down." Elise stared at him. "You're joking." "I'm not." Nathan sat on the edge of his desk. "My PR team thinks it's the best move. We go to a few events, take a few pictures, act like a couple. Then we quietly split. Problem solved. You want me to lie. I want you to help me fix something that wasn't your fault." Nathan's voice softened just slightly. "I'll pay you. Enough to cover your aunt's medical bills for the year." Elise froze. Her aunt had been sick for months. The bills were piling up, crushing her. But still, "I don't want your money." "Everyone wants money." "Not for this." Elise turned toward the door. "Find someone else." "Elise, wait." She stopped but didn't turn around. Nathan's voice was quieter now. "Please, I'm asking for help. Those words, so different from his usual commands, made her pause. She turned back. His face looked tired, almost vulnerable. "My aunt," Elise said slowly. "You'll pay her medical bills? All of them. All of them. And I'll make sure she has the best care." Elise closed her eyes. She thought of her aunt's tired face, the way she tried to hide her pain, the mountain of bills on the kitchen table. "Just a few weeks?" Elise asked. "Just a few weeks." She took a breath. "Okay." Nathan nodded. "Thank you." As Elise left the office, Mrs. Lang was standing in the hallway. The older woman gave her a long look. "He'll learn more from you than you think," Mrs. Lang said softly. Elise wasn't sure what that meant. The next afternoon, a woman named Jenna arrived at the mansion. She was Nathan's PR manager. Sharp suit, sharper smile. "All right, you two." Jenna clapped her hands together. "We have work to do. You need to look like a real couple, which means training." Elise sat on the couch, uncomfortable. Nathan stood by the window. "First rule," Jenna said. "Body language. You need to look comfortable together." She made them stand side by side. "Nathan, put your arm around her." Nathan hesitated, then placed his hand awkwardly on Elise's shoulder. It felt stiff, rehearsed. "Relax," Jenna said. "You're supposed to be in love." "We're supposed to be pretending," Nathan muttered. "Same thing in my world." Jenna circled them. "Elise, lean into him a little. Show comfort." Elise did. Nathan's body was warm, solid. She could smell his cologne. Expensive, subtle. "Better," Jenna said. "Now let's practice walking together. Hold hands." Nathan took Elise's hand. His palm was dry, his grip firm. For a moment, their eyes met. Something flickered there. Awareness, maybe, or discomfort. Jenna made them practice for over an hour. How to stand, how to smile, how to look at each other like they cared. By the end, Elise's cheeks hurt from fake smiling. "One more thing," Jenna said. "You're going to a charity event tomorrow night. Black tie. Everyone will be watching." Elise's stomach dropped. "Tomorrow? No time to waste." Jenna looked at Nathan. "Make sure she has a dress. Something elegant." Nathan nodded. After Jenna left, the room felt heavy with silence. "I'll have something sent over," Nathan said, not looking at Elise. "I can find my own dress. It needs to be the right dress. Because I don't know what elegant looks like." The word came out sharper than she meant. Nathan finally looked at her. "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" He didn't answer. He just walked out. The dress arrived the next morning in a huge white box. Elise opened it slowly. Inside was a deep blue gown, simple, beautiful, with delicate beading on the shoulders. It must have cost thousands. Mrs. Lang helped her try it on. "Oh, honey, you look like a princess." Elise looked at herself in the mirror. She did look different. The dress fit perfectly, hugging her curves in all the right places, but she felt like a fraud. "What if I mess this up?" Elise whispered. Mrs. Lang squeezed her hand. "You won't. You're stronger than you think." That evening, Henry drove them to the charity event. The car was silent except for the hum of the engine. Nathan kept glancing at Elise. She looked stunning in that dress. He'd known she was attractive. Anyone could see that. But tonight she looked different, confident, almost regal. "You okay?" he asked. Elise nodded but didn't speak. When they pulled up to the venue, flashes exploded. Cameras, reporters, people shouting questions. Henry opened the door. Nathan stepped out first, then offered his hand to Elise. She took it. The cameras went wild. Nathan leaned close and whispered, "Just smile." They walked through the crowd together, hand in hand. Elise's heart hammered in her chest, but she kept her chin up. She wouldn't let them see her fear. Inside, the ballroom was enormous. Crystal chandeliers, marble floors, men in tuxedos and women in gowns. Elise had never been anywhere like this. "Breathe," Nathan murmured. She did. They moved through the crowd. People stared. Some whispered. Nathan introduced her to business partners, board members, donors. Elise shook hands and smiled until her face hurt. Then an older man approached. Silver hair, kind eyes. "Nathan, good to see you." "Mr. Patterson." Nathan shook his hand. "This is Elise Carter." Mr. Patterson smiled at her. "Pleasure to meet you, Miss Carter. Nathan's told me nothing about you, which means you must be special." Elise laughed. A real laugh. "Or he's just private." "True." Mr. Patterson leaned in. "I hear you work with charities yourself?" Elise blinked. I help where I can." "She volunteers at a shelter," Nathan said quickly. That was a lie, but Elise played along. It's important to give back. Mr. Patterson nodded. Admirable. You know, Nathan funds a literacy program in underserved communities, one of his best initiatives. I didn't know that, Elise said, looking at Nathan. Nathan's face was unreadable. It's not something I advertise. They talked for a few more minutes. Mr. Patterson seemed genuinely interested in Elise's thoughts. When he walked away, Nathan touched her elbow. You did well. I wasn't trying to perform, Elise said quietly. I know. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. Dinner, speeches, dancing. Through it all, Nathan and Elise stayed close, playing their parts. But as the night wore on, something shifted. The pretending felt less forced. When Nathan laughed at something she said, it sounded real. When she took his arm, it felt natural. Near the end of the night, they stood by the window overlooking the city. The lights stretched out forever. This world is exhausting, Elise said. Nathan looked at her. You held your own. Because I had to. You're stronger than most people here. Elise met his eyes. For a moment, the walls between them felt thinner. Then Nathan's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, and his expression hardened. My mother. She saw the news. What does she think? She thinks I'm making a mistake. Nathan put the phone away. She'll get over it. But his voice didn't sound convinced. Later that night, back at the mansion, Elise sat in her small room replaying the evening. It had been overwhelming, exhausting, and strangely thrilling. She thought about Nathan's hand on her back as they danced, the way he'd looked at her when Mr. Patterson complimented her intelligence. Stop it, she told herself. This isn't real. But a small part of her wondered, what if it could be? Downstairs, Nathan poured himself a drink. The house felt too big, too empty. He thought about Elise in that blue dress, the way she'd handled herself with grace, even when people stared. He'd expected her to be nervous, out of place, but she hadn't been. She'd been herself, and that had been enough. His phone rang again. This time it was his mother, Marianne. We need to talk, she said. Her voice was ice. Not tonight, Mother. Yes, tonight. You're embarrassing this family. Nathan closed his eyes. I'll call you tomorrow. Nathan. He hung up. In the silence that followed, he could still smell Elise's perfume. Something soft, floral. Nothing expensive. Just her. He shook his head. This was temporary. A business arrangement. Nothing more. But as he climbed the stairs to bed, he couldn't shake the image of her smile, and that worried him more than any headline ever could. The next morning, sunlight poured into the mansion kitchen. Elise stood at the counter making coffee. She'd barely slept. Her mind kept replaying the charity event, the cameras, the whispers, Nathan's hand warm against her back. She heard footsteps and turned. Nathan walked in wearing jeans and a white t-shirt. No suit, no tie, just normal. He stopped when he saw her. Morning. Morning. Elise poured coffee into a mug. I made extra if you want some. Nathan hesitated, then sat at the kitchen island. Thanks. This was strange. In 2 years of working here, he'd never sat in the kitchen with her. The marble island had always been her workspace, not his. She slid a mug toward him. Their fingers brushed. Both pulled back quickly. Nathan took a sip and made a face. Too strong? Elise asked. No, it's actually really good. He looked surprised. Mrs. Lang taught me. She says good coffee is an art. Where is Mrs. Lang? Her day off. Silence settled between them. Not uncomfortable exactly, but uncertain. Nathan cleared his throat. About last night. You did well. You already said that. I mean it. He traced the rim of his mug. Most people in that room were born into money. They're used to those events. You weren't, but you handled it better than half of them. Elise leaned against the counter. I just tried not to embarrass you. You didn't. Nathan's voice was softer now. You impressed people. Mr. Patterson called me this morning. He wants to meet you again. Why? He thinks you're genuine. That's rare in my world. Elise didn't know what to say to that. She picked up a dishcloth and started wiping the counter. Nathan watched her. Do you ever sit down? What? You're always working. Do you ever just sit? Elise stopped wiping. That's my job. To work. Not right now, it isn't. Nathan gestured to the stool across from him. Sit. Have coffee with me. It felt wrong somehow. Like crossing a line. But Elise sat. They drank their coffee in silence. Outside, birds sang. The morning light made everything soft and golden. How's your aunt? Nathan asked suddenly. Elise looked up, surprised. She's okay. The new medication is helping. That's good. Thank you for covering the bills. Nathan nodded. It's part of our deal. Our deal. Right. That's all this was. Can I ask you something? Elise said. Sure. That literacy program Mr. Patterson mentioned. Is it real? Nathan's jaw tightened. Yes. Why didn't you tell me about it? Because it's not something I do for credit. I do it because... He trailed off. Because why? Nathan was quiet for a long moment. Because I didn't learn to read until I was 8 years old. I had dyslexia. My father thought I was stupid. He told me I'd never amount to anything. His voice was flat, matter-of-fact. So, I make sure other kids don't feel that way. Elise's chest tightened. She saw him differently now, not just as the cold CEO, but as a boy who'd been hurt. I'm sorry, she said softly. Don't be. It made me who I am. And who are you? Nathan met her eyes. I'm still figuring that out. Before Elise could respond, Nathan stood and walked to the coffee maker. How do you make this so good? It's not that complicated. Show me. Elise stood beside him. She explained about water temperature, the right amount of grounds, timing. Nathan tried making a cup himself. He measured wrong, added too much water, forgot to press the button. The coffee came out weak and bitter. Elise tasted it and tried not to laugh. That bad? Nathan asked. It's unique. He laughed, a real laugh that changed his whole face. I'm terrible at this. Yes, you are. They both laughed then. It felt easy, natural, like they were just two people sharing a morning. From the doorway, Mrs. Lang appeared. She'd come back early to grab something she'd forgotten. She watched them for a moment. Nathan laughing, Elise smiling, and quietly slipped away. Something was growing between them, something neither had planned for. That afternoon, Nathan asked Elise to help him choose an outfit for a magazine photo shoot. Why me? Elise asked. Because my stylist picks things that look expensive but feel fake. I want something real. They stood in his massive closet. Suits lined one wall, shoes lined another, everything organized by color. This is bigger than my apartment, Elise muttered. Nathan pulled out a navy suit. This one? Too formal. He tried again. This? Too boring. You're difficult. You asked for my help. They went through half the closet before Elise found a charcoal suit with a simple white shirt. This? No tie. Roll up the sleeves a little. Nathan raised an eyebrow. Rolled sleeves. It makes you look human. He tried it on. When he came back, Elise nodded. Perfect. I look like I'm going to a casual Friday at work. Exactly. That's better than looking like a robot in a boardroom. Nathan studied himself in the mirror. She was right. He looked approachable. How did you know? He asked. Know what? What would work? Elise shrugged. I pay attention. They sat on the bench in his closet. The space felt smaller now, more intimate. Can I ask you something? Nathan said. You keep asking permission. Just ask. Why do you work as a maid? You're smart. You could do something else. Elise's face hardened. You mean something more respectable. That's not what I meant. It's what you implied. Nathan ran his hand through his hair. I'm saying you have potential. You could... I could what? Go to college? With what money? Who would take care of my aunt? Elise stood. Not everyone has choices, Nathan. Some of us do what we have to do. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You never mean to. Elise walked to the door, then stopped. She turned back. For what it's worth, I'm not ashamed of my work. I'm good at what I do. I take care of people. That matters. I know it does. Do you? Her voice was quieter now. Because sometimes I think you don't see me at all. You see a maid, a problem, a PR solution. But you don't see me. Nathan stood. He wanted to argue, to defend himself, but she was right. I'm trying, he said finally. Try harder. She left before he could respond. Nathan stood alone in his closet, surrounded by expensive clothes that suddenly felt meaningless. Later that evening, Nathan found Elise in the library. She was dusting shelves, her movements mechanical. Elise. She didn't turn around. Yes, Mr. Cole? Don't call me that. It's your name. You called me Nathan this morning. This morning was different. She moved to the next shelf. Nathan walked closer. I want to tell you something. I'm working. Please, just listen. Elise stopped but kept her back to him. 5 years ago, Nathan said slowly, I was engaged. Her name was Claire. She was everything I thought I wanted. Beautiful, educated, from a good family. We were planning the wedding. Elise turned slightly. Then I found out she was sleeping with my best friend, had been for months. They got married 6 months after our engagement ended. Nathan's voice was flat. Everyone knew except me. The whole time I thought I was building something real. I was just blind. Why are you telling me this? Elise asked softly. Because you asked why I'm the way I am. That's why. I don't trust easily. I keep people at a distance. It's safer. It's also lonely. Nathan met her eyes. Yes, it is. Elise set down her duster. I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm not her. I know. Do you? Because you look at me like I'm going to hurt you too. That's not... Nathan stopped. Maybe she was right. Maybe he did see betrayal everywhere now. I lost someone too, Elise said quietly. My mother. She died when I was 17. Cancer. She was the strongest person I knew, and then she was just gone. Her voice cracked. After that, I learned that people are temporary. They leave, even when they don't want to. That's why you work so hard, Nathan said. You're trying to be permanent, to matter. Elise looked surprised. Maybe. They stood in the library surrounded by books, two people who'd been hurt learning to be honest. I see you, Nathan said. I'm starting to. Elise's eyes glistened. That's all I wanted to hear. Nathan stepped closer. The air between them felt charged. But before anything could happen, his phone rang. He cursed under his breath and answered. What? It was Jenna. The magazine shoot got moved up. Tomorrow morning. And there's a gala tomorrow night. The big corporate one. You both need to be there. Nathan hung up and looked at Elise. Another event. I heard. Are you okay with that? Elise nodded. As long as you are. I am. They stood there for another moment, neither moving. Then Elise picked up her duster. I should finish. Elise, see you tomorrow, Nathan. She walked out, and Nathan was left alone again. But this time, the loneliness felt different, like it was something he could change. The next night, the corporate gala was even bigger than the charity event. Hundreds of people, more cameras, more pressure. Elise wore a green gown this time, emerald silk that made her skin glow. Mrs. Lang had helped with her hair, pinning it up with small crystal clips. You're beautiful, Mrs. Lang said. Elise looked at herself in the mirror. I feel like I'm playing dress-up. Maybe that's because you don't see yourself clearly. When Elise came downstairs, Nathan was waiting in the foyer. He wore the charcoal suit she'd picked, sleeves rolled, no tie. He stared at her. What? Elise asked. Is something wrong? No. You're perfect. The word hung in the air. Henry drove them to the gala. In the car, Nathan couldn't stop looking at Elise. The way the streetlights caught her face, the way she nervously twisted her bracelet. You okay? He asked. Nervous? You don't have to be. You belong there as much as anyone. I'm a maid pretending to date a CEO. I don't belong anywhere near there. You're Elise Carter, that's enough. She looked at him, surprised by the conviction in his voice. The gala was overwhelming. More people, more questions, more eyes. But Nathan stayed close to Elise the whole night, his hand on her back, his smile when she spoke, his quiet reassurance when she looked uncertain. Across the ballroom, Marianne Cole watched them. Her son looked happy. That terrified her. She approached during dinner. Nathan. Introduce me properly. Nathan tensed. Mother, this is Elise Carter. Elise, my mother, Marianne. Marianne's smile was cold. How lovely to finally meet you. I've heard so much. It's nice to meet you too, Elise said politely. You work in my son's home, don't you? The question was a knife. I do, Elise said calmly. How industrious. Tell me, do you enjoy cleaning? Mother, Nathan warned. I'm just curious. It must be quite different from all this. Marianne gestured at the ballroom. Elise held her gaze. It is different. But honest work is honest work. I'm not ashamed of what I do. Of course not, though I imagine this lifestyle is quite appealing. Nathan stood. That's enough. Marianne's eyes glittered. I'm just getting to know your girlfriend. She's not... Nathan stopped himself. He looked at Elise, then back at his mother. You're being rude. I'm being realistic. This isn't sustainable, Nathan. End it, before it damages your reputation further. Nathan's jaw clenched. My reputation isn't your concern. Everything you do is my concern. I won't let you throw away everything your father built for some infatuation. Elise stood. Excuse me, I need some air. She walked away before Nathan could stop her. Marianne watched her go. She won't last. Girls like that never do. You don't know her. I know enough. Marianne leaned closer. End this farce, Nathan, or I'll make sure the board votes against your merger. You'll lose everything. She walked away, leaving Nathan furious and helpless. He found Elise outside on the balcony. Rain had started to fall, soft and steady. I'm sorry, Nathan said. My mother hates me, I know. She doesn't hate you, she's just protective. She thinks I'm using you. Nathan stepped closer. Are you? Elise turned to him, rain beading on her skin. Is that what you think? No, I don't. Then why ask? Because I need to know what this is. Nathan's voice was raw. This started as fake, but it doesn't feel fake anymore, not to me. Elise's breath caught. Nathan, I can't stop thinking about you. The way you laugh, the way you see through all my walls, the way you make me want to be better. This is temporary. We agreed. What if it doesn't have to be? The rain fell harder. Nathan took off his jacket and draped it around Elise's shoulders. She looked up at him, her eyes wide. I don't fit in your world, she whispered. Maybe my world needs to change. He leaned in slowly, giving her time to pull away. She didn't. Their lips met softly, tentatively. The kiss was gentle, questioning. Then Elise's hands found his shirt, pulling him closer. The kiss deepened, urgent, real. Years of loneliness melting into something warm and true. When they finally pulled apart, both were breathless. That wasn't fake, Nathan said. No, it wasn't. They stood in the rain, holding each other, the gala forgotten. For the first time in years, Nathan felt like he could breathe. For the first time in forever, Elise felt like she could stay. The next morning, everything felt different. Nathan came down to breakfast smiling. Henry noticed immediately. Good night, boss, Henry asked, grinning. The best. Nathan poured coffee. Badly, but he tried. Elise walked in moments later. Their eyes met. She smiled. Henry whistled. Oh, you two are in trouble. What's that supposed to mean? Nathan asked. It means that kiss must have been something special. How did you... The photographer got it. It's all over the news. CEO's romantic rain kiss. Very cinematic. Nathan should have been worried, but he wasn't. He was too happy. Later that morning, his business partner Adam stopped by. So, Adam said, leaning against Nathan's desk. The maid, huh? Her name is Elise. Right, Elise. The woman you're paying to pretend to date you. It's not like that anymore. Really, because it looks exactly like that. Adam, I'm just saying be careful. This started as damage control. Don't lose sight of that. Henry was in the hallway cleaning the car keys. He heard every word. And when Nathan laughed, actually laughed, and said, It's just a good PR act, Henry's heart sank, because Elise was standing right behind him. She'd come to bring Nathan a message. She'd heard everything. Nathan's voice carried through the door. Come on, you really think I'd fall for my maid? This is business, smart business. Adam laughed. Well played, man. Well played. Elise stood frozen. The coffee mug in her hand trembled. It's just a good PR act. You really think I'd fall for my maid? The words cut deeper than any insult from Marianne. She set the mug down carefully, so carefully, and walked away. Henry saw her face. He saw the tears she was fighting. Miss Elise, I'm fine. But she wasn't. That evening Elise stormed into Nathan's office. She threw the jewelry box on his desk, the expensive bracelet he'd given her for the gala. What's this? Nathan asked. I don't want it. Elise, what's wrong? You tell me. Or better yet, tell Adam. Since you're so comfortable telling him the truth. Nathan's face went pale. You heard. Every word. I didn't mean what? To use me. To make me believe you actually cared. I do care. You said it was just PR. Just business. Smart business. Her voice cracked. Was last night business too, that kiss in the rain? Nathan stood. No, that was real. How am I supposed to know what's real with you? 1 minute you're telling me you can't stop thinking about me. The next you're laughing with your friend about how you'd never fall for your maid. I was protecting myself. From what? From this. From feeling things I can't control. They stared at each other, both breathing hard. I trusted you, Elise said quietly. I let myself believe this could be real, but you're just like everyone else. You see me as less than. That's not true. Then why did you say it? Why did you reduce everything between us to a business deal? Nathan had no answer. Elise's phone rang. She glanced at it, and her face changed. I have to go. Elise, wait. Leave me alone. She walked out. Nathan sank into his chair, the jewelry box glittering on his desk like an accusation. The next morning, Marianne called. We need to talk. In person. I'm busy. Make time. She gave him an address, a small cafe downtown. When Nathan arrived, Elise was already there. His heart dropped. What is this? Marianne smiled. Just a conversation. Nathan started toward Elise, but Marianne blocked him. Let them finish. Through the cafe window, Nathan watched his mother hand Elise an envelope. Elise opened it. Inside was a check and a plane ticket. Nathan's blood ran cold. He burst into the cafe just as Elise was speaking. I may be poor, Elise said, her voice steady. "But I'm not for sale. I don't want your money. I don't want your approval. And I don't need your son." She crumpled the check and dropped it on the table. Marianne's face hardened. "You're making a mistake." "No. He made the mistake, and so did I for believing him." Elise stood. She saw Nathan in the doorway. Their eyes met. His were pleading. Hers were closed off. She walked past him without a word. Marianne picked up the crumpled check. "She'll be gone by tomorrow, trust me." Nathan turned on his mother. "What have you done? Saved you from yourself. You had no right." "I had every right. I'm your mother. I'm protecting you. By bribing her, by humiliating her, by showing you the truth. She doesn't belong in your world, Nathan. The sooner you accept that, the better." Nathan looked at his mother, really looked at her. He saw the fear beneath the control, the loneliness beneath the pride. "You're wrong," he said quietly. "She's the only real thing in my life, and you tried to buy her off." He walked out. Marianne sat alone in the cafe, watching her son disappear. She'd won, so why did it feel like losing? That night, Elise packed a small bag. Mrs. Lang found her. "Where are you going?" "My aunt's place. I need some space." "Running won't fix this." "I'm not running. I'm surviving." Elise zipped the bag. "I let myself believe in something that was never real. I need to remember who I am." Mrs. Lang hugged her. "You're stronger than you know, but sometimes strength means staying and fighting." "I'm too tired to fight." Elise left that night on a late bus. Her phone buzzed with a call from Nathan. She didn't answer. In the dark of the bus, she watched Atlanta fade behind her. She'd let herself hope, let herself fall, and now she was paying the price. The bus rolled through the night, taking Elise farther from Atlanta with every mile. She pressed her forehead against the cold window and watched the city lights disappear. Her phone buzzed again. Nathan. She turned it off. 3 hours later, the bus pulled into a small town called Meadowbrook. The streets were quiet. No fancy restaurants, no photographers, just normal people living normal lives. Elise walked the 2 blocks to her aunt's apartment building. It was old but clean, with flower boxes in the windows. Home. She knocked softly. The door opened. "Elise?" Her Aunt Gloria stood there in a bathrobe, eyes wide. "Baby, what are you doing here? I needed to see you." Gloria pulled her into a hug. She was 53, with grey-streaked hair and warm brown eyes. The cancer treatments had made her thin, but her embrace was still strong. "Come in, come in." The apartment was small. 1 bedroom, a tiny kitchen, a living room with a couch that had seen better days, but it smelled like home. Like the vanilla candles Gloria always burned. "Have you eaten?" Gloria asked. "I'm not hungry." That wasn't the question. Gloria made eggs and toast. They sat at the small kitchen table, the same table Elise had done her homework at as a teenager. "You want to tell me what happened?" Gloria asked gently. Elise told her everything. The fake dating, the kiss in the rain, Nathan's words to Adam, Marianne's bribe. Gloria listened without interrupting. When Elise finished, she was crying. "I was so stupid," Elise whispered. "I let myself believe he could actually care about someone like me." "Someone like you." Gloria's voice sharpened. "What does that mean?" "Someone who cleans houses. Someone with no education. Someone who—" "Stop right there." Gloria took Elise's hands. "You are smart, kind, hard-working, and beautiful. Any man would be lucky to have you. And if Nathan Cole can't see that, that's his failure, not yours." "But he said—" "I don't care what he said. I care what you believe about yourself." Gloria squeezed her hands. "Baby, you've been taking care of everyone your whole life. Your mama when she was sick, me when I got diagnosed. You work yourself to the bone and never ask for anything. Maybe it's time you let someone take care of you. I tried, and look what happened." Gloria sighed. "Love is risky, it hurts, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it." "How do you know?" "Because I loved your Uncle James for 30 years. He died, and it broke me. But I wouldn't trade those years for anything. The love was real, even though it ended." Elise wiped her eyes. "I don't know if what Nathan and I had was real. Only one way to find out. Ask him. I can't face him. Not tonight, but eventually." Gloria stood and kissed Elise's forehead. "For now, rest. Tomorrow you help me at the diner. Hard work clears the mind." Elise spent the night on the couch. She slept badly, dreaming of rain and kisses and Nathan's voice saying things that cut her open. Saturday morning, Elise woke to sunshine streaming through the windows. She could hear Gloria humming in the kitchen. "Morning, sleepyhead," Gloria called. "I'm heading to the diner. You coming?" The diner was called Mel's Place, a small restaurant Gloria had worked at for 20 years. Nothing fancy, Just good food and friendly service. Elise tied on an apron and started taking orders. It felt good to work, to focus on something simple. Coffee, pancakes, smiling at customers who left decent tips. At noon, the door chimed. Elise looked up. Nathan stood in the doorway. Her heart stopped. He looked different, exhausted, wearing jeans and a plain grey t-shirt. No expensive suit, no polished shoes. Just Nathan, raw and uncertain. "How did you find me?" Elise asked. "Mrs. Lang told me where your aunt lives. I've been driving since 5 this morning." His voice was hoarse. "Can we talk? I'm working. Please, just a few minutes." Gloria appeared from the kitchen. She looked Nathan up and down. "You're the CEO." "Yes, ma'am." "You're also the fool who hurt my niece." Nathan nodded. "Yes, ma'am, I am." Gloria studied him for a long moment. Then she looked at Elise. "Take your break, 15 minutes." Elise didn't want to, but she followed Nathan outside. They sat on the bench by the diner. The street was quiet. A dog barked somewhere, normal life moving forward. "I'm sorry," Nathan said, "for what I said to Adam, for making you feel like you didn't matter, for being a coward. You humiliated me." "I know. You made me believe you cared, then laughed about it with your friend." "I wasn't laughing. I was scared." Nathan turned to face her. "Everything with you happened so fast. It was supposed to be fake, controllable. But then it became real and I panicked. So I said things that made me feel safe, things that pushed you away before you could leave me first." Elise's throat tightened. "You think I'd leave you? Everyone does. I'm not everyone. I know that now." Nathan's voice cracked. "I know you're the most honest person I've ever met. You see through all my walls, and you don't run. You challenge me. You make me want to be better, and I ruined it because I was too afraid to admit how much I need you." Elise looked at her hands. "Your mother offered me money to leave." "I know, and I told her she was wrong. About you, about us, about everything." "What did she say?" "That I'm throwing my life away." Nathan laughed bitterly. "But my life before you was empty. Just work and appearances and pretending. You made it real." Elise wanted to believe him, but trust was fragile. "I need time," she said quietly. "I understand. And I need you to prove it. Not with words, with actions. Tell me how." Elise met his eyes. "Stay? What?" "Stay here in Meadowbrook, help at the diner this weekend. Live like a normal person for 2 days. If you can do that, if you can exist in my world without your money and your reputation, then maybe we have something real." Nathan didn't hesitate. "Okay. Okay? I'll stay." Gloria appeared in the doorway. "Break's over, Elise, and you—" She pointed at Nathan. "If you're staying, you're working. We need someone to bus tables." Nathan stood. "Yes, ma'am." The rest of Saturday was surreal. Nathan Cole, CEO of Colestone Investments, cleared tables at a small-town diner. He was terrible at it. He dropped dishes, mixed up orders, spilled coffee on himself twice. The customers stared at first. Some recognized him from the news, but Gloria shut down any gossip with one sharp look. By closing time, Nathan was exhausted. "You're awful at this," Elise said, wiping down the counter. "I know, but you kept trying." Nathan looked at her. "I said I'd stay. I meant it." That night, Gloria let Nathan sleep on the couch. He didn't complain about the lumpy cushions or the thin blanket. He just thanked her and closed his eyes. Sunday was better. Nathan learned the rhythm of the diner. He started getting orders right. He even made a little girl laugh when he drew a smiley face on her pancake with syrup. Elise watched him throughout the day. The way he listened carefully when customers talked. The way he apologized when he messed up. The way he looked at her when he thought she wasn't watching. He was trying, really trying. That evening, after the diner closed, they walked through Meadowbrook. The sun was setting, painting everything gold. "This is a nice town," Nathan said. "It's home." "I can see why." Nathan stopped walking. "Thank you." "For what?" "For giving me a chance. For showing me what real life looks like." He gestured at the quiet street. "I spend so much time in boardrooms and galas. I forgot what matters." "You reminded me." Elise's heart softened. "You really stayed. I told you I would." They kept walking, past the small park, past the library, past the ice cream shop where Elise used to go as a kid. Music drifted from somewhere, a bar with outdoor speakers playing something slow and sweet. Nathan held out his hand. "Dance with me? Here? In the street? Why not?" Elise took his hand. They swayed together under the streetlights. No cameras, no audience. Just two people finding their way back to each other. "I'm falling for you," Nathan whispered. "For real this time, no pretending." Elise looked up at him. I'm scared. Me too. But I'm falling too. They kissed, soft, honest, full of hope. When they pulled apart, both were smiling. So what happens now? Elise asked. We go back to Atlanta tomorrow. We figure this out, together. Your mother will hate it. She'll adjust, or she won't. Either way, I choose you. Those words settled into Elise's heart like stones building a foundation. For the first time since the cafe, she believed him. Monday morning, they drove back to Atlanta. Nathan's phone had been off all weekend. When he turned it on, it exploded with notifications. What's wrong? Elise asked. Nathan's face went pale. Tessa. Who? The woman I was supposed to have the blind date with. The real one. He scrolled through his phone. She posted an article. It's everywhere. He showed Elise. The headline made her stomach drop. CEO Nathan Cole uses Maid romance to hide truth. The blind date he stood up speaks out. Below was a photo of Tessa. Beautiful, polished, angry. The article was brutal. Tessa claimed Nathan had used Elise as a publicity stunt, that he'd humiliated her by standing her up, that the entire romance was fake and calculated. This is bad, Nathan muttered. Is any of it true? The blind date, yes. But I didn't stand her up. She never showed because of the mix-up with you. Nathan ran his hand through his hair. But nobody will care about the truth. They'll just see the story. His phone rang. Jenna, his PR manager. Nathan, where have you been? The board is furious. Investors are pulling out. You need to make a statement now. I'm not making a statement. Then you're going to lose everything. Nathan looked at Elise. She squeezed his hand. You can't fix everything with lies, she said softly. Nathan nodded. He spoke into the phone. Schedule a press conference for tomorrow. I'll tell the truth. The truth? Jenna sounded panicked. That's a terrible idea. It's the only idea I have left. He hung up. Elise stared at him. Are you sure? No, but you're right. No more lies. They drove the rest of the way in silence, both preparing for the storm ahead. That evening, Nathan had a mandatory investors' dinner. Black tie, high stakes. He had to go. You should come with me, he told Elise. After that article, they'll eat me alive. Then we'll face them together. Elise wanted to refuse, but she'd asked Nathan to prove himself. Now he was asking the same of her. Okay, she said. Together. The dinner was at the Majestic Hotel. Crystal chandeliers, marble floors, Atlanta's wealthiest people in their finest clothes. Elise wore a simple black dress. Nathan wore his charcoal suit. They walked in holding hands. The room went quiet. Whispers started immediately. People stared. Some pointed. Nathan's jaw was tight, but he didn't let go of Elise's hand. They found their table. The other guests barely acknowledged them. Halfway through dinner, the doors burst open. Tessa Vaughan walked in. She wore a red dress and a victorious smile. A photographer followed her, not press, someone she'd clearly hired. She walked straight to Nathan's table. Nathan Cole, she said loudly. We need to talk. The entire room watched. Tessa, Nathan said calmly, this isn't the place. Really? Because you didn't seem to care about place when you humiliated me. She turned to Elise. And you, the maid, how much is he paying you to play along? Elise's face burned. He's not paying me. Sure he isn't. Tessa pulled out her phone and showed the screen to the crowd. I have proof. Text messages from Nathan's PR manager discussing payment arrangements. This whole thing is fake. The room erupted in murmurs. Nathan stood. Those texts are about household expenses. Not... Stop lying! Tessa's voice was shrill. You used me, you used her, all for good publicity. Guests pulled out their phones, recording everything. Nathan looked at Elise. He saw the humiliation on her face, the way she was shrinking under everyone's stares. He should defend her, should speak up, should do something, but he hesitated, just for a second. But it was enough. Elise stood. Her voice was quiet, but clear. You just proved her right. Elise, you had a chance to stand up for me, for us, and you hesitated. Tears filled her eyes. That's all I needed to know. She walked out. Nathan started after her, but Tessa blocked him. Let her go. She doesn't belong here anyway. Nathan looked at Tessa, then at the crowd, then at the door, where Elise had disappeared. For the first time in his life, he didn't care about the investors, or the reputation, or the company. He cared about Elise. He pushed past Tessa and ran, but when he got outside, Elise was already gone. The next morning, Nathan woke in his empty mansion. He went to Elise's room. It was empty. Bed made. Closet cleared. No note. She was gone. Nathan called her phone. No answer. He called Gloria. No answer. He called Mrs. Lang. Where is she? She quit, Mrs. Lang said softly. She's not coming back. Where did she go? Back to Meadowbrook. She's working at her aunt's diner full-time now. Nathan sat on Elise's empty bed. He saw her uniform folded neatly on the chair. He picked it up. It still smelled like her, like vanilla and hope. He'd lost her. He called his mother. I hope you're happy. Nathan, you wanted her gone. Well, she's gone. Are you satisfied? Marianne was quiet. No, I'm not. Nathan hung up. He sat in that empty room for an hour. Then he made a decision. Henry found him in the garage. Where are you going? Meadowbrook. She said she needed space. She said I needed to prove myself. I did it for a weekend. I'll do it forever if that's what it takes. Henry smiled. That's the Nathan I remember. Will you drive me? No, you're driving yourself. It's time you did something without help. Nathan took the keys. He drove 3 hours to Meadowbrook. He parked outside Mel's diner and walked in. The lunch crowd filled every table. Elise stood behind the counter taking orders. She looked tired but beautiful. She saw him and froze. Nathan walked to the counter. The diner went quiet. I'm sorry, Nathan said. His voice carried through the room. I should have defended you at that dinner. I should have told everyone the truth, that you're the best thing that ever happened to me, that I don't deserve you, but I'm asking for a chance to earn you. Elise's eyes filled with tears. Nathan, I know I messed up. I know I've hurt you, but I'm here now, and I'm not leaving. He looked around at all the watching faces. I don't care who knows. I don't care what they think. I love you, Elise Carter. That's the only truth that matters. The diner was silent. Elise came around the counter. She stood in front of him. You hesitated, she said quietly. I know, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life, but I'm here now, and I won't hesitate again. How do I know? Because I'm staying. I'll work at this diner. I'll live in this town. I'll prove every single day that you matter more than anything else. You'd give up your company. I'd give up everything for you. Elise searched his face. I can't be your redemption story, Nathan. I can't be the lesson you learned. You're not. You're my future if you'll have me. A customer in the corner started clapping. Then another. Soon the whole diner was applauding. Elise laughed through her tears. You're making a scene. I don't care. Your mother will lose her mind. Let her. Elise took his hands. If we do this, if we really try, it has to be real. No more lies. No more games. No more lies, Nathan promised. She kissed him. The diner erupted in cheers. Outside, Henry sat in his car. He'd followed Nathan to make sure he got there safely. He filmed the whole thing through the window, just a short clip of Nathan confessing his love. He didn't mean for it to go viral, but it did. The video hit the internet that night. Henry had posted it to his personal social media without thinking. Just a short clip, Nathan in the diner, confessing his love, Elise kissing him while customers cheered. By morning, it had 3 million views. By noon, 10 million. News outlets picked it up. Morning shows played it. People shared it with comments like, "This is what real love looks like." And finally, a CEO with a heart. Elise woke to her phone buzzing non-stop. Messages from people she hadn't talked to in years. Friend requests from strangers. Interview requests from magazines. She sat at Gloria's kitchen table, overwhelmed. "What's happening?" Gloria asked. Elise showed her the video. Gloria watched, then smiled. "That boy really loves you." "I know, but now everyone knows." Nathan's phone was worse. Hundreds of calls. His email crashed. Jenna called 6 times before he finally answered. "Have you seen it?" she practically shouted. "Seen what?" "The video. You're everywhere, Nathan. And for once it's actually good press." Nathan pulled up the video on his phone. He watched himself pour his heart out in that small-town diner. He looked desperate and honest, and completely unlike the polished CEO everyone knew. "People are calling you authentic," Jenna continued. "Real, human. The board just called an emergency meeting, but this time they're not angry. They want to capitalize on this." "I don't want to capitalize on anything." "Nathan, listen to me. You have a press conference scheduled for today. Use it. Tell your story, the real story. People are ready to hear it." Nathan looked out the window of the small motel room he'd rented in Meadowbrook. "I'll think about it." He hung up and drove to the diner. Elise was already there, preparing for the breakfast rush. She saw him through the window and came outside. "Did you see it?" she asked. "The video?" "Yes. Everyone's talking about us." "I know, I'm sorry. Henry didn't mean—" "I'm not mad." Elise leaned against the diner wall. "It's just weird. being watched by millions of strangers. Nathan stepped closer. We can ignore it. Stay here. Live quietly. Can we? Or will they follow us forever? Probably. Nathan touched her face gently. But I don't care, as long as I'm with you. Elise closed her eyes. You have a press conference today. I'm not going. Yes, you are. Nathan frowned. What? Go back to Atlanta. Tell everyone the truth. Own your story. Elise opened her eyes. You said no more lies. So don't lie. Tell them everything. What if they hate me? Then they hate you. But at least you'll be free. Nathan understood. She was right. He'd been running from judgment his whole life. It was time to face it. Will you come with me? He asked. No. This is something you need to do alone. Elise, I'll be here when you get back, I promise. She kissed him softly. Go be brave. Nathan drove back to Atlanta that afternoon. The press conference was scheduled for 4 o'clock at the Coldstone building. When he arrived, the conference room was packed. Reporters, camera crews, board members, even some of his employees had come to watch. And in the back, sitting quietly, was his mother. Nathan took the podium. His hands shook slightly. No notes, no script, just him. Thank you all for coming, he began. His voice echoed through the room. I'm here to tell you the truth, about the photos, about Elise, about everything. The room was silent. A few weeks ago, I said something terrible. I said I hoped my blind date would be white and elegant. I said it casually, like it was nothing, but it was everything. It was prejudiced. It was wrong. And it set off a chain of events that changed my life. Nathan took a breath. When Elise Carter walked into that restaurant, I was embarrassed. Not because she'd done anything wrong, but because I cared more about appearances than character. A photographer took a picture, and suddenly the whole world thought we were dating. Cameras flashed. Reporters scribbled notes. My PR team suggested we pretend it was real, just for a few weeks until the story died. I agreed. I asked Elise to help me, and she said yes. Nathan's voice grew stronger. What started as a lie became the most honest relationship I've ever had. Elise showed me what real elegance looks like. It's not about money or status. It's about grace, dignity, and courage. Someone in the crowd shouted, "Are you still paying her?" No, I never was. The only payment I offered was to cover her aunt's medical bills. That's not a bribe. That's basic humanity. Nathan looked directly at the camera. Elise quit working for me. She left because I hurt her. Because I hesitated when she needed me to be strong. That was my failure, not hers. More questions came rapid fire. Is the relationship real? Yes. What about Tessa Vaughn's accusations? Tessa was supposed to be my blind date, but she never showed up that night because of the mix-up. She has every right to be upset. But turning that into a public attack was wrong. This isn't about publicity, it's about two people trying to figure out if love is worth the risk. What do your investors think? Nathan paused. Some of them will pull out. Some already have, and that's okay. If they can't respect my choices, then I don't need their money. Gasps rippled through the room. CEOs didn't talk like this. I've spent my whole life building a reputation, Nathan continued. Being perfect, being untouchable, and I was miserable. Elise made me happy. She made me human. And if loving her costs me everything, then so be it. Some things are worth more than profit margins. The room erupted with questions, but Nathan held up his hand. I'm done hiding. I'm done pretending. Elise Carter is the woman I love. If that makes me a bad CEO, then I guess I'm a bad CEO. He looked at the board members in the front row. You want my resignation? You have it. Effective immediately. The room exploded. Nathan walked off the podium. He didn't look back. In the hallway, Marianne waited. That was quite a speech, she said. I meant every word. I know you did. Marianne's voice was soft, almost sad. Can we talk? They went to Nathan's office, the same office where this had all started. Marianne sat across from him. I owe you an apology. Nathan blinked. His mother never apologized. I was wrong, Marianne continued. About Elise. About you. About what matters. Her eyes were wet. I tried to bribe her because I was scared of losing you, scared of losing control. But all I did was push you away. You thought you were protecting me. No, I was protecting myself. Marianne wiped her eyes. Your father built this company from nothing. When he died, I poured everything into making sure you succeeded. I thought success meant money and status and the right connections. But watching you up there today, she smiled through tears. You looked more like your father than you ever have. He would have been proud. Nathan's throat tightened. Dad would have liked Elise. Yes, he would have. Marianne stood. I'd like to meet her. Properly this time. If she'll let me. I don't know if she will. Then I'll earn it, the same way you are. Marianne left, and Nathan sat alone in his office. He'd just quit his job, lost his company, destroyed his reputation, and somehow he felt lighter than he had in years. Nathan drove back to Meadowbrook that evening. It was late when he arrived, past 10 o'clock. The diner was closed, but lights were on in Gloria's apartment. He climbed the stairs and knocked. Elise opened the door. She was in pajamas, hair down, no makeup. Beautiful. "I saw your press conference," she said. "And? You quit your job?" "I did." "Nathan, you didn't have to." "Yes, I did." He stepped inside. "So I spent my whole life chasing things that didn't matter. Money, power, respect from people I don't even like. And I was empty. But with you, I'm full. You make me better. You make me want to be better." Elise's eyes filled with tears. "What are you saying?" Nathan pulled a small box from his pocket. Elise's breath caught. "I know this is fast," Nathan said. "I know we've only been together a few weeks, but I've learned more about love with you than I did in 34 years without you." He opened the box. Inside was a simple silver ring with a small diamond. "I'm not asking you to marry me right now. I'm asking you to build a life with me. A real life. No pretending, no games. Just us, figuring it out together." Tears streamed down Elise's face. "Yes, yes, yes, you idiot. Yes." Nathan slipped the ring on her finger. It fit perfectly. They kissed. Deep, honest, full of promise. Gloria appeared from the bedroom. "About time." They all laughed. The next morning, Nathan woke on Gloria's lumpy couch. Elise was making coffee in the kitchen. He watched her move, comfortable, at home, humming softly. This was real. This was life. His phone rang. It was Adam, his former business partner. "Nathan, what the hell did you do?" "I quit." "I know you quit. The board is freaking out. Investors are confused. Stock prices dropped 15%. Then they'll recover, or they won't. It's not my problem anymore." "Nathan, Adam, I appreciate everything, but I'm done. I'm staying in Meadowbrook. I'm going to figure out what I actually want to do with my life." There was a long pause. Then Adam laughed. "You're serious?" "Completely. You're insane. But good for you, man, really." Nathan hung up feeling free. Over the next few days, news outlets continued covering the story. Some praised Nathan's honesty. Others called him reckless. A few accused him of throwing away a fortune for publicity. But in Meadowbrook, life moved on. Nathan worked at the diner every morning. He got better at it. Faster, more efficient, actually good. Customers started requesting his section. In the afternoons, he walked with Elise. They talked about everything. Dreams, fears, the future. "What do you want to do?" Elise asked one day. "Now that you don't have a company." Nathan thought about it. "I want to help people. Really help them. Not just write checks. I want to be involved." "Like your literacy program?" "Exactly like that. I could expand it. Hire teachers. Build community centers." Nathan's eyes lit up. "I have money saved. I could use it for something that actually matters." Elise smiled. "That sounds perfect. What about you? What do you want?" "I want to go back to school. Get my degree. Maybe become a teacher." "You'd be an amazing teacher." "You think so?" "I know so." They made plans. Real plans. Not for show or for press. Just for them. 3 months later, Nathan and Elise hosted an engagement dinner in Atlanta. It was held at a beautiful restaurant. Not as fancy as Le Bernardin, but elegant enough. The guest list was small. Mrs. Lang, Henry, Gloria, a few of Nathan's genuine friends, and Marianne. She arrived early, nervous. She found Elise in the hallway. "Miss Carter," Marianne said formally. "Mrs. Cole." Elise's voice was polite but guarded. "I owe you an apology. A real one." Marianne took a breath. "I judged you without knowing you. I tried to buy you off because I was scared and proud. I was wrong, completely wrong." Elise studied her. "Why should I believe you?" "Because I've been watching my son for the past 3 months. He's happier than I've ever seen him. He calls me every week. He laughs. He has purpose." Marianne's voice cracked. "You gave him back his life, and I almost destroyed that because of my own fear. I'm sorry, Elise. Truly." Elise saw the sincerity in Marianne's eyes. "Thank you for saying that. Can we start over?" "We can try." Marianne smiled. A real smile. "That's all I can ask." During dinner, toasts were made. Henry stood first. "To Nathan and Elise, you taught this old driver that love doesn't care about status. It only cares about heart." Everyone raised their glasses. Gloria went next. "To my niece, you've always taken care of everyone else. I'm glad you finally found someone who takes care of you. Elise wiped her eyes. Then Marianne stood. The room went quiet. I wasn't sure I'd be welcome here tonight, she began. But Nathan insisted, and Elise graciously agreed. She looked at them both. I've spent my life believing that success meant wealth and reputation. But watching my son choose love over everything else taught me what success really means. It means being true to yourself. It means choosing happiness over appearances. She raised her glass. To Nathan and Elise, may you always choose each other. The room erupted in applause. After dinner, Nathan and Elise stepped outside for air. The night was cool, stars bright overhead. That went better than expected, Elise said. My mother actually smiled. I think hell froze over. Elise laughed. She's trying. I know, I appreciate it. Nathan pulled her close. Thank you. For what? For giving her a chance. For giving me a chance. For being you. You make it sound easy. Isn't it? No. Love is terrifying, but it's worth it. Nathan kissed her forehead. Yes, it is. Inside, the party continued. Music played softly. People laughed and talked. Through the window, a photographer snapped a picture, not for gossip or scandal, just for memory. It showed Nathan and Elise holding each other under the stars. Both smiling, both free. The same photographer who'd taken that first photo at Le Bernardin, the one that started everything. He looked at the two images side by side, then and now. In the first, they looked caught, embarrassed, wrong. In the second, they looked right. He posted the comparison online with a caption, "From scandal to love story. Sometimes life surprises us." The post went viral again, but this time, the comments were different. This gives me hope. Real love exists. They fought for each other. That's beautiful. Nathan and Elise didn't see the post until the next morning. They were too busy living their life. 6 months after the engagement dinner, they got married. The wedding was small, just 50 people in a garden outside Meadowbrook. Nothing extravagant, just simple and honest and full of love. Elise wore a cream dress. Nathan wore the charcoal suit she'd picked for him all those months ago. Gloria walked Elise down the aisle. Marianne sat in the front row, crying happy tears. Henry served as best man. Mrs. Lang caught the bouquet. When the minister asked if anyone objected, Tessa Vaughan stood up. The crowd gasped. Tessa had been invited. Elise's idea, much to Nathan's surprise. I don't object, Tessa said. I want to apologize. Publicly. She looked at Nathan and Elise. I was angry and hurt, and I lashed out. I tried to destroy something beautiful because I felt rejected. That was wrong. I'm sorry. Elise nodded. Thank you for saying that. Tessa sat back down. She'd been dating someone new, a kind man who owned a bookstore, someone who saw her for who she really was. The ceremony continued. Vows were exchanged. Rings were placed. You may kiss the bride. Nathan and Elise kissed as husband and wife. The garden erupted in cheers. At the reception, they danced. Their first dance as a married couple. The same photographer from all those months ago was there. He took one final picture. Nathan and Elise holding each other close, dancing in the fading light, both radiant, both whole. The caption he posted later read, "This is what elegance looks like." 1 year later, Nathan sat in a community center he'd built in a low-income neighborhood. Children surrounded him. 15 kids learning to read. His literacy program had expanded to 5 cities. He was happy, truly happy. Elise taught English at the local high school. Her students loved her. She had a gift for making complicated things simple, for making everyone feel seen. They lived in a modest house between Meadowbrook and Atlanta. Not too big, not too small, just right. Gloria's health had improved. The treatments were working. She visited often, bringing homemade pies and terrible jokes. Marianne visited too. She and Elise had grown close, slowly, carefully, but genuinely. Marianne volunteered at Nathan's community center twice a week. She said it reminded her of her husband. One evening, Nathan and Elise sat on their porch watching the sunset. "Do you miss it?" Elise asked. "The company? The money?" Nathan shook his head. "Not even a little." "Really? Really? I thought that was who I was. But it was just what I did." He took her hand. "You showed me who I could be." We showed each other. They sat in comfortable silence. A dog barked somewhere. Kids rode bikes down the street. Normal life. Beautiful life. "I love you," Nathan said. "I love you too." "Still scared?" "Always, but less than before." Nathan pulled her close. "Good. That means we're growing." The sun set, painting everything gold. Inside their house, dinner was cooking. Plans were being made. Life was being lived. It wasn't perfect. They still fought sometimes, still struggled, still learned. But it was real. And real, they discovered, was so much better than perfect. 2 years after that first photograph, the same reporter wrote a final article. From Scandal to Love, the Nathan Cole story. It detailed everything. The prejudiced comment, the mistaken identity, the fake relationship that became real, the price they paid, the love they chose. The article ended with a quote from Elise. People ask me if it was worth it. All the judgment, the headlines, the pain, and I always say yes, because real love isn't easy. It's not clean or simple. It's messy and hard, and requires you to be braver than you think you can be. But when you find someone who makes you want to be brave, you hold on. You fight, you choose them every single day. Below the quote was that final photograph. Nathan and Elise, dancing, equal, radiant, elegant in their truth. The article went viral. It was shared millions of times. People commented, "This is what love should be." They earned their happiness. "I believe in love again." Nathan and Elise never read most of the comments. They were too busy living the life they'd fought for, building their future, choosing each other, proving that true elegance isn't about where you come from or what you have. It's about grace, humility, and the courage to love despite fear. And they had all three, together. On their second anniversary, Nathan gave Elise a small velvet box. She opened it. Inside were the silver cufflinks from that first night. "I kept them," Nathan said, "to remember." Remember what? That the best things in life start with mistakes, with humility, with someone brave enough to knock on your door when you've lost something precious. Elise's eyes filled with tears. "You're getting poetic in your old age." "I learned from the best." They stood on their porch, holding each other as the sun set. Behind them, the house glowed with warmth. Ahead of them, the future stretched out, uncertain, beautiful, theirs. And in that moment, surrounded by love they'd fought for and earned, they were exactly where they belonged, home. Not in a mansion or a small apartment, but in each other's hearts, where the truest elegance had always lived.